repair. Today I lost suction on my irrigation pump and nothing was going to the sprinklers. So we had to do a little troubleshooting, and basically I lost the prime, and we had to try to figure out what's going on with the suction piping, and we'll make a path now, figure out what happened with that. Here's my handy raft. Went out to the lake, lifted up the piping that went into the lake, and noticed that at the end of the pipe, which by the way I already cut and pulled out, but when I lifted up the pipe, this is what I had. It was broken off. So the foot valve was totally gone, and that's the reason why we were losing prime and not getting any suction to the pump. So I cut the PVC pipe and pulled in that long section that goes out into the lake, and now we're going to do a repair and build a new cage structure for the end of this pipe to go into the lake. So continuing on, I went to Home Depot. The piping was PVC 1.5 inch, and this is the plan I came up with. Basically, water line pipe coming from shore. I'll put a new coupling to mate up two long sections of PVC piping, one from the house and one out into the lake. It'll run out to the lake. I'm going to have a T that goes up to the new foot valve, and another short branch to go out and provide a lateral support for the whole structure. In the future, if I have to repair this thing again, I'm going to have to cut the pipe and pull it out. I tried to find a coupling 1.5 inch, and at the time wasn't available, and I was kind of anxious to get it done, but maybe a removable coupling in the future might be a good idea. But short term, it's pretty cheap fix. PVC coupling is like 68 cents. So these are all the things that you're going to need. You're going to need your connections, and you're going to need your glue and a hacksaw. And here's the foot valve. I happen to purchase a Simon's foot valve and screen. Sometimes this gets clogged up, but I lost the whole structure out in the lake, and so I needed to replace it. All right, now we're going to cut it all up, and next picture you'll see, hopefully it's all together. Now you're getting the idea of what this looks like. There's the glue, and I've cut all the pieces, clean up all the burrs, apply some rough sandpaper to make the glue stick a little bit better. Those will fit like that. Put two end caps in, this small connecting piece to mate with this piece, and finally the foot valve will go on top, and then the rest of the pipe will extend up to the house. Now the foot valve is a combination strainer, filter, and check valve inside, so that your pump will maintain its prime. Okay, next picture we'll maybe see it closer together. Now we're getting ready for the final assembly. I've got one more coupling to put there to join with the section of pipe that's already coming out to the lake. And then here's the piece that we assembled in the garage. And I'm going to have to wire brush some of the algae off, but I think you can see by now how it all goes together. And we'll push this section out into the lake and then mate it up with the piece that's coming from the house. And that should do it. So I hope you enjoyed, and you learned something, and hope your project is successful. Placing the foot valve and a section of the irrigation suction line, I still was not able to get the irrigation system to work. Exploring back further, there's one other component that could have been the culprit in this, and that is the check valve at the suction of the pump. After the foot valve had failed, all of the algae and seaweed, from the lake gathered in the suction line of the pipe and totally fouled up the check valve. I have since cleaned it out, but it's still not usable because it was a slip joint, and I can't salvage that. So I bought a new check valve and appropriate sections to make up the remaining portion of the suction piping. and we'll put all that together and then fill the system from here prior to putting in the check valve, so I get all the air out of the piping, and then do a little bit of a prime by removing that plug, and then we'll start the system up. So we got a little more work to do, but I think I've replaced all of the potential problems, and the last thing to go would be the pump itself, but I know the pump runs, so we'll see how this goes.
Success. The irrigation system is back up and fully functioning as expected. There were several problems that I identified during the troubleshooting, and all of the problems were caused initially by the broken off foot valve. The broken off foot valve caused moss and debris to get sucked into the irrigation line, clogged up the line as well as the check valve. So we had to replace the check valve, had to cut the pipe in several sections and re-glue it, had to flush the line. After everything was re-glued and put back together, filled the system, and also filled it from the vent connection at the pump. Started up, everything worked great. In the future, I put a small buoy out there because I think a boat might have hit the foot valve, broken it off. Now with a marker in place, that shouldn't happen again. Good luck. Hope you don't have to face the same problem, but if you do, you're now equipped with a way to fix it. Good luck. This is Bob.